I don't recall covering these players in our earlier coverage, so I'm a little unfamiliar with their play styles. I'm curious to see what they bust out and what kind of skills they have.
Yep, so pretty typical lineup so far. We have the one tanky character coming back in. We would expect something more squishy here from Mojio on the last pick, if he does pick it. All right, I'm not sure if that got picked due to the timer or if he actually picked it, but it looks like the Scale Bear is going to be the third and final selection for Mojio, as he does go actually a little bit more on the tankier side for his final champion select, going on to Blood Covenant as the first map again.
See if he starts off with clutch right away. I'm not too fond of clutch on here, but what do I know? So I just think it's a little too wide open for him, in my opinion. But he can definitely be utilized. I've used him, but it's not my favorite, I guess, is what I would say.
Well,
really heavy for Mojo. I mean, look at the Rangers, is the lightest class he's got, the lightest champion he has.
Yeah, I mean, the clutch popularity has definitely spun up over recent weeks, though, so it's definitely not surprising to see that being played in again, especially on this map here, where it's definitely had some pretty good usefulness in the past. So we should be starting round 1 right now, as it's time to leap into it, folks. So, for those that are just joining us, mind you, this is the round of 16 matches, so the winners of each of these matches are going to get a qualification slot for the regional LAN here in North America. Either MDO or Mojio will be moving forward to claim that spot, and this is time to get it now, as MDO, actually with a nice little jump up there, a little boost up with the nails, and then, of course, the double jump on the Nyx to be able to go up and get himself the early rail pickup, grabs that, trying to follow the order to make sure he does not port through that one and try to go for an armor pickup or try to change up positions in this fight. And MDO getting a lot of rail shots off initially here. In fact, Mojio is not looking so good. He's down very low, actually, and over just to the casual SMG kill, as MDO has already claimed the first kill early on.
Yeah, easy finish for MDO after he landed those shots. I mean, poor position for Mojo to get anything. Oh, nice ghost walk. Nice ghost walk.
Makes the charge completely inept, as it would seem. But actually, unfortunately for MDO, he still tries to take an out in the open fight against the Scale Bear. That is not going to work out for him. So for Mojio, he is going to end up losing that fight. Or excuse me, Mojo is going to end up winning that fight. Pardon. And MDO will lose his own first champion win. It seemed like he could actually get the pretty quick second kill. Just overestimated his odds in that fight there due to the health pools and ended up losing it.
Yeah, miscalculation, certainly, because of the differences in stack. And I mentioned, earlier that starting off with a lightning gun on a tank class, especially when you're a lighter character, a lighter champion, is a little risky because the time to kill is not short. So you're going to be lightning gunning for a while, and a lot of things can happen. So I prefer to get that that big shot off the rail or rock and have a good stack advantage. Oh my gosh, great shooting by Mojo. That was just amazing.
He's going to be able to follow that one through. The only thing Mojo's having trouble with on the Scale Bearer right now is those charges. He's 0 for 2, but thankfully his opponent is now also on a Scale Bearer, so we'd hope he wouldn't miss that charge.
A great bounce up rocket, and he just flicked straight up and took him out of the air. It's really impressive.
And then Mojio going for the lockdown here. He's got the mega health pickup, so he's just going to go right in and steal that away out of the hands of MDO, despite him having initial control over that area of the map. And Mojio's going to be a little careful. He's out of rockets now. Ammo being low, he may have to switch over here to the rails or the nail gun to fight a little bit closer up. He's hoping his opponent tries to leap back down and go for this armor pickup, but no. He's basically just letting MDO, this is basically just letting Mojio have this one. There's still like a 10-second split on the spawn, so Mojo's got plenty of time to run to the other side of the map and make sure that he keeps control over this mega health. Now, MDO's going to get there. Does Mojio want to take the fight? And yes, he does, right up close. No, MDO. Too close for comfort. Shoots the ground and kills himself with a final rocket shot. So round 1 goes to Mojio, despite MDO getting the very early advantage with that initial kill and seeming like he was almost going to get the second frag.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to fall down there. I think he missed the jump and ended up right in front of his opponent.
So, bit of a mess up there right at the end, and that's going to give the round over to Mojio. So, bit of a dangerous advantage giving to him. Now he's 1 round up. Nice little jump across with the rail and a second connection before Mojio can get behind coverage. Stunning start again for MDO. Now he just has to mess it up. Right into the open here now as they will fight close up. Even the frag going closer too, as they do each use their dire orbs to try and get closer to each other. Mojio just panicking, spraying his rockets all over the place, trying to stay alive. It seems to have worked though. MDO is going to end up backing up from the engagement, peeling away from this one and going to reset.
Yeah, they were both one hit away, so he was just playing the corners and making sure that if his opponent was going to come at him, he's going to have to dodge a rocket on the way in, no matter what side. So.
We're now in, almost at the gauntlet out for that fight, switching quickly over to the Rockets, and once again quickly porting around with the die roar, but unfortunately had, like I said, that gauntlet out for the initial couple seconds of that fight, so it did give MDO a free couple of shots on the opener there, and that led to his doom, as he is once again going to lose the initial 1v1. Turned this around last time, though, so don't count Mojo out just yet, as he did work on the last run with the Scale Bear. This time, though, he goes for the clutch on second spawn.
I don't know why you would want to run around with your gauntlet out, just my opinion. Not it could be a little careless. It really came back to haunt him there. I mean, because he had to do the weapon switch, and that little second, I mean, it made the difference.
And MDO trying to port into this fight, taking a lot of LG damage, but not nearly enough to kill him there. As that was some messy LG work from Mojo, unfortunately. So MDO actually has a pretty easy time, despite having trouble locking down his opponent, of killing his second champion now. So now Mojo is going to be down on the Scare. This is where he did work on the last round, though, and completely spun the battle back on its heels. So we'll have to see if he can do that again. He's up against much greater odds, though. He does have to do this in a 1v3 fashion, or at the very least get the next 2 kills and delay a little bit before he finally gets the third one if he wants to win it.
Oh, a little misread by MDO there. I thought it for sure he heard him pick up that heavy machine gun.
Nice turnaround there by MDO. He's getting pelted by the shotgun. He lost a lot of his armor, but did deal the damage back with a clutch little rail shot from down below.
He gave up the mega health, though. Oh, Mojo didn't realize it's up. A little miscalculation by both guys here. Mojo should know that mega health's up. He's going to see it now.
Yeah, and he's going to go for it now. Might also just have wanted to split the spawns a little bit since he knew MDO backed away from that fight. But that was, as you're mentioning, a pretty lengthy time to be able to do that there with the spawns already kind of being split up by about 5 seconds or so. But this time now, it's really split up, and there's a really big diversion between the armor and the health spawns if we can see Mojo properly track that. In fact, he is going to be swinging over here to the other side now, and MDO leaps over, gets himself a little bit more rail ammo. And it's enough at the very least to put Mojo back down those steps a little bit, but with it being spawned, you can tell he's going to go back up. Eats the rail shot, but it's justified in that now he can go up and actually pick up the armor. But MDO, delaying that for a few seconds himself, has bought himself more time to now hop back in and get the mega health pickup and steal that away from Mojo.
I'm surprised he didn't try to get maybe a little follow-up peek shot to go along with the one he hit. You know, hitting somebody right before they pick up the heavy armor. You know, you want to hit him again, more so after.
Nicely done.
Way to finish there.
Yeah, right at the end, the Dire port directly into a rocket shot, beautifully played out. So these rounds will go 1-1. Neither player having an initially huge advantage here. This match definitely going back and forth. The rounds, unfortunately, kind of one-sided. Mojo really dropped the ball in the second round here and let MDO take control here. Whereas on the previous one, even though MDO got the initial kill, it was definitely the Mojo show for a good 2/3, to 80% of that first round here. Now, all right, a little bit awkward. You can't hide the clutch that well, so it's going to get spotted pretty quickly. And MDO just pops the stealth, gets out of there, doesn't want to fight with the shields up, so that's going to be off. That's going to be on cooldown for some time. But so will the shield, or so will the stealth. However, look at this, beautifully done from MDO. Just puts him right into a corner. There's nowhere for him to run. And once again, MDO gets a very quick first kill on his Nyx.
Yeah, nothing Mojo can do. I mean, he's just pinned in that corner with the clutch, lightning gun on you, and I mean, his accuracy must have been through the roof on that lightning gun right there. I don't know if he missed a shot.
Literally no escape as well, as he pushed him directly into a corner. So there was no options for Mojo there. Even had the passive, health reduction for standing still, but that did not save his life, even though he's only doing 5 ticks of damage per tick on the LG there. And MDO wanting the second frag here. Does not want to just leap back up on top here for obvious reasons, but will sit back, and LG from the Scale Bear actually causing him quite a bit of trouble. He's got to be careful. 46 HP, he'll have to go for that little mini armor pickup and then back up on top then to get the mega health. And he's even skittish of Mojo being there, so had to be careful.
Yeah, you got to be careful. His arsenal's very limited with just machine gun, shotgun, and lightning gun. So no long range, no rockets. And you can see MDO using that to his advantage. Yep. He has a limited arsenal. I mean, a stack is great, but when you have a limited arsenal, it's huge holes in your approach. I mean, it can be seriously exploited. Not having a railgun, not having a rocket launcher, and just running around with lightning gun. I mean, unless you catch them in the right circumstances, the lightning gun's not going to be enough.
And meanwhile, MDO is stacked to the brim. He's near max ammo, or at least over pretty much half on everything except for the LG currently. So he's in great shape. Just got himself the mega health pickup. He's in a little bit of trouble here, but the stealth's off cooldown, so he can pop that, get himself out of the fight safely. Reset it again. He's also got Mojio low, so he can recommit and some beautiful rocket work. The 180 spin to close it. He'll get himself a clean third round and now takes the lead 2-1.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Mojo was thinking there after seeing the ghost walk. He should have been ready for that person to come right back at him. He should have been hightailing it.
And yep, that fatal mistake will cost him another round. So it's MDO with the advantage and the possibility to close out on map 1, giving himself a 1-0 advantage in this best of 3 series right here, right now. And MDO's been very aggressive very early on in the rounds before, so it's no surprise he's going to do this again. Look at it, just crushing Mojio's Ranger. Only 17 seconds into the round.
Set a nice ambush, you know, hit him with a rocket, a charge, another rocket. I mean, next thing you know, the guy's toast. It's just a nice ambush.
MDO has to be one of the most aggressive players we've seen so far this week. This is some very front and center stuff that he's trying to deploy against Mojio, and it's working beautifully for his qualifying match. Over to the rails now. Just has to wait the timer out on this clutch. The clutch is going to dodge away from it here as he's just trying to get out of this fight. It's not going to work, though. Misses the jump due to the rail connecting onto him and messing up his movement. Now he's stuck below, hit by the rocket again. This could be the second kill. Thankfully that rail missed, but the second one's going to connect, and just barely escapes the third one by going up under the stairwell here. But MDO leaps up himself, and now he's taking a bit of a risk as that rocket jump's going to bring his health down low. Tries to charge into the kill. He can't find him, though.
Really aggressive.
Yeah.
Really aggressive. I mean, yeah, not even interested in the heavy armor. He's just cutting off the map and looking for a kill.
Like I said,
gotta be careful doing that, though.
If not the most aggressive, one of the most aggressive players we've seen so far this week, specifically just in this map's play so far. MDO is showing up to be very, very straightforward, and that is surprising too, considering the fact that he wasn't even the guy that picked some of the tankier characters. He actually has the pretty light lineup, only having the scale bearer as a tankier player to work off of. Meanwhile, Mojio has both the scale bearer and the clutch and the ranger in his arsenal, which can also, if you stack it up, it can be a little bit more tankier as well. MDO, again, trying to leap into this fight. He won't have that immediate kill potential that he had about 30 seconds ago, unfortunately, as he's lost that edge. Mojio's had plenty of time to recover. He does know that the armor spawn just came out, so he tries to split the time a little bit. Ends up with about a 7-second split onto here. Now leaps into the engagement. Again, great rocket work. Bounced Mojio as well, so brings him down to basically just his health pool. Only 100 HP left on Mojio, but again, loses that fight just before he's about to lock it down. He can still do it, though. Mojio's okay with fighting this until he gets hit by a rail again, I imagine. But as the switched weapons do move in, Mojio once again backs out, wanting to recover his armor and HP a little bit here. And for MDO, thought that Mojio was going to chase him, as Mojio also got a decent amount of damage done in that fight, but just not enough for him to want to justify that one. He goes back, gets the armor pickup, and MDO takes the mega health.
Yeah, well, I heard Mojio at the rocket launcher fight earlier. He kind of popped his clutch shield after he picked up heavy armor and ran down to the lightning gun area for, I don't know if he's just taking a chance that MDO was there or not, but he didn't have it up for that rocket launcher fight was the end result. So.
Well, MDO's tired of this passive game of cat and mouse for control over the mega health, so he's finally going to take the initiative in stealth and just move in, steal the armor, dodging these rail shots. The shield finally going to expire here in a second, but oh no, MDO, he's eating a lot of damage all of a sudden. He's going to use the charge to get some speed here, rush over to the other side, see if he can steal the mega health, but he eats a rocket on the way there, so now he has to back up, and he becomes the mouse all of a sudden here with only 20 HP and not a whole lot to work with, trying to stay alive here.
Yeah, big turnaround for Mojio. MDO has to be very careful. I mean, looking for any help you can. At this point, you need to be thinking. I mean, even just changing direction on him, because faking him out with sounds, making him think you go one way and then go the other. Just anything to get you some light armors and health.
Nice movement from MDO. Oh, when he's chased out by Mojio the last second, I think he was expecting to find him right outside of the teleporter, so swings around, knocks him out. Mojio, are you there, man? There we go. Okay.
What happened there? Okay, we seem to be.
I think his mouse or something like that might have broken for a second there. He's fixed it now, though. Didn't call for anything in the chat, so play is still on as far as we're concerned. Mojio, you're gonna be hiding down below. Hello there. He's got that shield. You're not getting through that. That's not gonna last forever, though. You gotta be a little bit careful now that MDO does have the high ground, and there is only a minute left. But this is down to a 2v2 currently for those who have lost track of that. So the next kill potentially could win this map, or excuse me, could win it for MDO or solidify the round for Mojio. As Mojio himself still sticks below to low ground here, and MDO, well, he's gotten very close to finally taking down this clutch. It's been a real menace to him, swinging past. He's at 6 HP. MDO, for as aggressive as he's been, he's not been able to close out on this kill in the clutch for just some reason.
Oh, he's probably going to get it here. Mojo's in a really bad spot. He just heard him below. He's going to try to track him down. Try to go in for the kill.
He's doing his best to try and dodge away from this one, but Mojo can't run any further. He's stuck in the pillar room here now. Has the shield to work with here a little bit, and the shotgun to try and get a reversal in this fight, but the range is not playing to his advantage. Goes back over to the rockets, and again, so low, but MDO does not have what he needs to close out. At the very least, he gets it over the timer now, so it's for certain going to be next kill wins here, but he's giving Mojo a little bit of time to recover.
A little bit of sloppy rocket play there. Probably should have had that one.
Yeah, oh, all right. Mojo almost beats his end there again. Peeking out the stairways while his opponent has a rail over at the rocket bridge. So he's going to swing up on top, trying to possibly get this full armor in a second, but he'll have to fight for it as MDO is diving into the engagement, newly refreshed with a mega health pickup, and Mojo definitely has lost track of these spawns. He's back over to Pillar Room. Maybe they can get that, or at the very least wanting to bail away. The fight is still 10 seconds away until this thing spawns, so he's going to end up in a fight. Does have the shield up for it at the very least, but he's not shooting at all. He's waiting down this timer, so he's giving MDO the advantage again, and Mojo still going to just continue to back away from the engagement, does not want to fight here, and MDO, at the same time, does not want to continue it. He does not want to try to press beyond his own limits here to get this final kill, to try and win out the round and the map.
Yeah, not looking to overextend. Wants to make sure he doesn't give the clutch a chance to get back in this by picking up mega health and heavy armor, so...
Mojo sits down below. Ooh, tries to turn it around, but yeah, the LG spam from Mojo, or excuse me, from MDO, was just too good at the end there, and he was able to take it. 3-1. Mojo is going to lose map number 1. He did leave the match. Hopefully, he's still in our lobby, as he still has one more map to play here, potentially 2. As MDO, while he is going to take the first map, there's still at least one more to go.
Yeah, good finish by MDO with the lightning gun. You know, clutch shield was down. He was doing a good job of running the items, you know, never letting the clutch get back in a stack, you know, get himself back into the round. And then, you know, just had a good frag opportunity, had him pinned, and just did the finish. You know, probably could have got a kill a little earlier, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. He recognized that, you know, armor was up, so he just kind of took a more defensive, you know, tact and made sure he got his stack back before he went back again. And so I just think he had that feeling that he was leaning on him, putting pressure on him, and that over time, you know, he was eventually going to get in a good frag position, which he did, and he got the finish.
And, I mean, let's bring this up again, just the pure out aggression. It did go away at the end, as he wanted to be safe to secure that last kill. But MDO throughout pretty much all of that first map was probably some of the most aggressive play we've seen all this week so far in these dual qualifiers, especially at the very beginning of the round. The second he got even a semi-decent stack, he was just jumping into the fight every single time.
Yeah, he's something I guess his opponent should look out for. He's definitely up to leaving items up just to cut you off and try to finish a frag. So the one thing for MDO on the flip side, he needs to be careful, you know, going against the Rafas and as he moves up, or if he moves up through the brackets. These guys will make reads off of that, and you could end up losing items, you know, as they reposition because of your aggression, and may use that against you. So you got to be careful about just running, you know, too aggressive. It's a delicate balance. It's like a dance, you know, in a duel where you got to change speeds and change, you know, your play style a little bit to throw your opponent off guard as best you can. So just being too aggressive, overly aggressive, it may be working out for him here, but he just needs to be careful of that against different opponents, and just make sure you make the adjustment per opponent and not just get caught up in one play style.
Well, we are into the second map here now, and you can see the draft going off. A little bit of a change up this time since we're heading over to Blood Run. It's a it's a little bit more of a complex map to do the portals of it, so it doesn't make it as straightforward. And as a result of that, MDO with an interesting pick here is actually going to bring the Galena into the fight. We haven't seen a whole lot of her this week, so it's going to be interesting to see her coming back to the fray, especially on a map like Blood Run, which has a lot of portal usage, so there's a lot of totem usage that we could see coming into play there too as a result of that.
Yeah, a lot of blind corners and other areas too. This is a good map for Galena. I really like her here. You can really, I mean, you can frustrate the heck out of somebody with her here. If you're placing it right and they're running into those totems, it's just highly frustrating.
I mean, we've seen it before. If you can corner off one part of the map and set up like 2 to 3 totems there to where it's basically going to insta-kill anyone that steps on them, then you can either, one, if your opponent knows those totems are there, block it off completely for them until they are able to delete those totems, or if they aren't aware that it's there, they'll go through the portal and just completely kill themselves and frag themselves out there due to the totem's position. So Galena can be a very, very annoying champion if you know how to set that up properly. We already saw that used once. Granted, that was in like a Pro versus Joe match at our E3 show matches, but still. It'd be interesting to see if someone would be able to trick another player and use it in a tournament setting like this.
Yeah, and one of the other things too is even when your opponent destroys the totem, it kind of tips you off to their location. So it has a lot of uses.
Well, we won't see a Galena right off the bat from MDO, who has chosen to roll with it in this map. They are both going to stick with their initial Ranger spawns, and they'll start off the fight here. It's in a nice little even mirror match. See who's going to be able to get the early advantage. MDO hitting a nice rail right at the start, and another one directly out of a portal, and the follow-up. 3 rails back to back to back. And he once again gets that very early kill. Same exact playstyle as we were seeing back on Blood Covenant.
Yeah, you can just see the confidence in the aggression. I think he feels like he has Mojo a little bit on the ropes. Like maybe he could push him around a little bit in these engagements. You can tell.
I like it. Don't give him time to think. Don't give him time to recover. Just keep the pressure on. Shut him down quickly. Now, this time he's going to have to shut him down a little bit less quickly, as he does get tagged by that rail. So that's going to bring him down a little bit lower. And he'll have to back away and recover before he can jump back in and fight this one again. Over to the Rockets. Missed the platform, though, as Mojo does jump down below and dodges that one. But, no, MDO getting tagged again by another rail. Uses the dire just to be completely safe so that he can make that hop over there and not have to worry about himself too much. And while the clutch actually almost getting bounced into the air a little bit into a dangerous fashion that could have led to his second death very quickly there. But thankfully that does not happen. And MDO and Mojo are allowed to escape relatively unscathed from that fight. And the same thing's going to happen right here.
Little poor usage of the shield by Mojo there. I mean, he could have really used it for this mega health fight, but it looks like a good thing he's not challenging, so it really doesn't matter. But he could have maybe used it in a more opportune spot. Oh, that was a huge miss.
Now MDO, well, connecting onto his rockets, unfortunately, is not going to connect onto much else as he gets hit by pretty much everything, down at 25 HP after that fight. The clutch still out in the open here towards middle, and MDO should have heard him going through that portal, so he's going to know he's lurking somewhere around there. Just has to make sure he doesn't run directly into him here, as Mojo has a huge advantage on health right now. If you look at the top, his stack is looking way, way better than what MDO brings to the table, and MDO misreads it, so he doesn't even want to take a chance on that fight. Just jumps right through the portal, gets out of there. Not ready for this fight until he can, at the very least, try to control one of these 2 power-ups, as he's knocking both of them right now. However, the clutch is going to force the engagement into the open. However, over jumps a little bit there on the dodge, so leaps himself off the platform and allows for MDO to set up for a little bit of a rail shot here. Another one, and also the one into MDO misses. MDO can actually eat a rail right now, but Mojo has no intention of sticking in that fight, and now is MDO's chance. He can move in, he can steal the armor himself, and he's going to use the dire up to do that. Now that he's got that back a little bit, tagged slightly, not for a whole lot though. And as he does pull away from this engagement, now you can start to think, okay, finally, I've got a little bit more of a stack going. Mojo is pretty much just on his health at this point, so maybe I can find him position to engage in a few moments.
Yeah, it was a good recovery because he missed that slip gate earlier and, gave up heavy armor as a result, and he was really on his heels. So slowly rebuilt the stack, but he's got to be careful with the clutch at close range.
And there we go. Nicely done, MDO. Even adding a few style points to the end of that one as well, as he uses the slip gate to get the kill right up into the clutch's face to get that frag. The bounce actually almost messed him up a little bit as he missed the follow-up, but his opponent was unable to recover. And oh no, freshly spawned Mojo on the skill there whiffs the charge, trying to go past, and MDO again with these style kills, right up close and personal on the bounce pad to get the last kill with a railgun. Round 1 is his, and he goes up 1-0 while also having the map advantage.
Yeah, you can just see the confidence in MDO, putting the pressure into Mojo. Some little bit of highlight, stuff going on, and the aggression too. You can really feel that he feels like he has his man right now and on the ropes, and he's not going to let him breathe. He's going to stay on him.
Slipgate in early from Mojo. Not going to be utilizing it, however, as MDO does just hold up in that hallway, expecting that to happen. And MDO, these rails from him are beautiful, man. Right up close now, having to fight it out. Reducing his HP down a little bit. Doesn't have any armor either, so he's got to be a little bit careful in the event that Mojo did manage to swing. I'm assuming he's picked up a rail by this point.
Actually, he has not.
He's not. Well, he's going for it. He just
grabbed his rail.
Oh, and he jumps back up too, but here's the problem. He did leap into a fight he may not be ready to take. He's got his opponent low with a quick switch from Mojo over to the LG. Secures in that first round. Finally, he counters out this early aggression, and Mojo is going to be able to get himself a first kill for the first time, I think, in like almost 4 rounds or so, if we include the last map.
He's got a nice stack here, too, so he's got to make the most of this. This is his chance to really turn things around for him. That's kind of kind of a silly use of your.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other ways to get rid of totems, man. You don't need to use your active ability.
It's wanted to be super safe. He really needs the rockets, you know. And he's gonna get tagged down by these rails. Opponent bailed out though. Didn't catch the portal jump. I think he should have been able to hear it. That might have been me hearing something incorrect though. But now leaping into the fight anyway, and MDO claims quick revenge there with the rockets up close in that side hall.
Yeah, for anybody less experienced, you know, that area of Blood Run, those stairs on both sides, the corridor where where Mojo just came out from, up by the super shotgun. You got to be careful about running around that area. Especially with the rockets, you know, you can really get lit up, and then out on the platform, it's wide open for lightning gun and rails. So the area is not safe. Is the best way I would say it.
Well, MDO just given quite a few free rail shots against Mojo there, so Mojo had to completely fall back, go to recover. He's got to be careful. You can see the outlines across the map now, these totems. He's starting to put them, as you were saying, in some of these blind corners and whatnot, where Mojo, in a bit of a rush state, may not be expecting him. And oh, actually, well, the Ghislaine is not going to last very long after that, as Mojo just completely reverses the fight in a matter of seconds there. Turns it around, and now is going to try to end it. The stealth pop quickly from MDO there thankfully saves his life, but Mojo going to try to rush. Definitely not very well positioned, though, and that pretty much ends up being a waste of an active.
And Mojo's in a good spot, though, right now. That was a big turnaround for him. Just make sure he gets this heavy armor. Oh,
not even
MDO
going to need
right
it.
into that. Yeah, not even going to need it. Just walked into one.
Just a nice casual rocket to end it there. So nice little strike back from Mojo. He's got round number 2 under his belt now. So another close fight, another close match here in map number 2, and we'll see if Mojo can keep that momentum going here. MDO still had his moments though, so he's definitely not cooled down just yet. Mojo may have finally found some consistency himself. He just has to keep that going. He got the armor pickup, so nothing's stopping him from diving into this fight. MDO's only got HP to play off of now, whereas Mojo's got a nice 85 armor stack going that can reduce that damage for pretty much ad infinitum in terms of the fight between MDO and Mojo, as it would go off right now. But decides not to.
Got to be a huge round for Mojo to get that last one. He really needed, to get something going for him. All right, mentally he's got to be thinking. It wasn't looking good for him. So mentally, I can imagine what was going through his head. So to get some momentum right now, he's probably thinking, I can do this. I can come back. Just gotta make some good plays.
So that will help him out to propel him forward, as now even he's getting aggressive in the early round too. Has sort of adapted the playstyle a little bit from MDO. Oh, and nicely read as well. Great rocket, 22 HP getting knocked off of MDO, who was already relatively low, so he's going to have to bail away from this fight. The spawns on the power-ups are still relatively the same, and oh, Mojo actually completely mistimed it there. He thought it was about to come back up, and then his opponent was sitting on top of it, so looked the complete wrong way. And that set it up for an easy frag for MDO.
Yeah, MDO was sitting there quiet by that pillar, by the tri-bolt, and as I mentioned earlier, you can't come down those stairs quiet. There's just no way you can do it. So he heard Mojo coming down these steps, and he just came around with a rocket ambush and got the job done. It was a good play by MDO.
And MDO again trying to lock into this fight here. The rail missing, so he'll back up and recommit from another position as he does swing back around to get a little bit of his own armor going. And the mega armor coming up in a second too, 5 seconds away from that spawning, so he should be good to grab that. He's going to be a little careful with rocket damage though. And oh, as he's pushed out from it, a rail connects on him too. He's pretty much just going to die orb on top of it to be safe, and now trying to leap across. Missed rail again. He's actually struggling a little bit with rails in this round. May be able to go for it in this next fight though, as his opponent on the scale bearer does jump into the portal, so he knows exactly where he's at still. Can hear that pickup of the regular armor from across the map, so now tries to line it up, and again another miss from MDO. No luck with these rails. Jumps into the portal to try and dive for this fight here. Finally a connection. He still has a lot more health to work off of, and his own HP is slowly being whittled down at 83. 50 armor though, so he still has a little bit of a buffer in that regard, whereas Mojo's just on his health, and he's going to jump in, steal the full armor again, and the mega health, which he'll recover a lot of his own reduced HP after just getting hit by a railgun too. So great damage mitigation overall from MDO here, and great control over the fight. He just needs to find this one position to jump in on Mojo and get this kill, as that's the one thing stopping him from just crushing this match right now. And now into the fight. Well, they're going to find it here. The charge just launches MDO back, and that gives Mojo the room he needs to disengage.
Yeah, a little MDO, if he had a rocket launcher there, probably was in better shape. But after, he hit the rail, but the reload forces him to back off, so he really couldn't follow it with anything. And given the close proximity to the scale bearer and the weapon he had to get out of there. But it was a good decision by MDO to back off. He still has control.
And MDO up close here now. thought he was going to get a fight versus Mojo from the top platform. And, oh, almost a great read from Mojo, but a little bit early on the shot. MDO getting another hit here on the rails, bringing Mojo down to 75 with about a tick of armor left over here. It's about to respawn, so MDO should be going for that in a second. As the full armor has just popped up, he's going to delay it slightly to bring the timers more even point. And now the health's coming up too. I don't think he's going to go for that health though. He wants to get this kill, but no! The charge from Mojo used to get the mega health, recover some of his own. The slipgate port right up on close, and with that, he'll get the kill, bringing Mojo down to just his clutch.
Yeah, it was good play by MDO. I knew he was going to get the finish regardless there. He had Mojo in a bad spot. I like how you could really just see how he was thinking and reading his opponent when he was in that back SNG room. You know, heavy armor's coming up. You could see him listening, and he planned that rocket. And he came down and ran into one down the stairs. So MDO's looks like he slowed it down a little bit and taking a little more control.
For MDO here now, ready? Okay, nice. There you go.
Really nice.
Quick follow-up into the fight. So round 3 goes over to MDO in dominant fashion. Great recovery after a slow round number 2, and now he has himself the first map point here, going up 2-1. This is also match point for him as well if he takes this next round.
Yeah, looking good. You were commenting how aggressive he was early on. I mean, he was still aggressive, but it seemed like a little more controlled aggression that round, where he kind of calmed down and he made some really nice reads on Mojo and just took him completely out of his game.
Well, with a low stack, he's still looking to start off this next fight here. However, for Mojo, he's remaining really quiet. MDO just spotted his shoulder, though, on the peak. So he is going to be able to try and bring him into this fight. Hasn't really got him locked down just yet, though. Mojo still up on top here, and MDO can hear that. Has himself the SMG for up close. Tries to go over the rail. Keep in mind, MDO still does not have rockets to play off just yet. Only the rail and the LG. But so far, has not really been a fan of that LG unless he knows he can lock down the kill with it. So he's been trying to use the rail, but like I said, his early round rails have been a little bit hit or miss on this map so far. He hasn't been having the best of luck with it, so he's going to want to look for this rocket pickup soon if he can get it. And finally, just now has it.
Next fight, I'm wondering if Mojo's going to challenge for this. He's going to challenge for this mega. Is MDO going to? Oh, nice hit. That should back him off for sure.
Yeah, Mojo just rolls away from that one, and the port goes up on top. But oh, hello!
Nice.
There's the rocket jump, the slipgate from MDO, though. He's going to be able to go over, get the extra armor for himself. Still not looking great on HP, only 31 in total, but Mojo is in a very similar position without the armor advantage. So he has to fall back. He has to bail from that fight, but so does MDO for very similar reasons. He's going to be a little bit skittish about that taking that engagement too. So he backs up, allows Mojo to recover, and is going to be fine to re-engage in a moment here. But oh, almost reads into this one poorly, so he's going to get tagged by an early rail due to a positional misadvantage. The slipgate comes in for Mojo. He won't take advantage on that one just yet, and MDO uses his own slipgate to get back up on top. Thankfully for Mojo, he had the portal close by, so he was able to quickly tag MDO, deleting all of the overcharged armor, and a great rocket up close, and the switch as well, but they trade each other, so each one is going to get their initial kill, and now it's a race to stack themselves back up. Mojo got a little bit lucky, though. He spawns in the room where everybody just died, so he gets a free rail and rocket pickup right at the start.
Yeah, MDO, a little... I know he wanted the kill, but a little kind of careless the way he came into that room. Ran right into a well-placed rocket by Mojo, put him in the corner. He was fortunate to get away with the trade there because he was dead after the Mojo landed that first one.
And Mojo is still trying to look for the ability to re-engage here quickly, but MDO, as you were saying, has definitely toned down his aggressiveness in this map overall, especially towards the mid round. You can still see a lot of the old MDO that we were seeing before in the early round here, but he's definitely a little bit more restrained this time, and for good reason too, as Mojo has shown up to play here now. You can see direct rocket hit brings him down to just 100 HP. Mojo trying to figure out where that damage came from behind him as he pelts in there and gets a nice little tag against himself, but it's for very minimalist damage, and now he gets bounced, so he's not going to be able to complete the kill on MDO just yet. Thankfully, MDO bounced Mojo too, so that gave him the room to escape, and MDO is going to get to survive for another day at least here. And oh, I think Mojo just saw the trail of MDO, so he is going to be able to follow him down these steps and try to continue the chase inside of the mega health room here. And great block. Now push for it, but he's hanging back. He doesn't want to go for this just yet. Happy to continue tagging MDO with these rails, and he had him low, had him at like 25 HP, but now he's waited too long, so MDO has once again escaped his claws.
MDO just doing what he has to right now. Up, he's in a bad spot here though. Oh, he's gonna need that ghost.
For some reason, MDO still wants to fight this, however. He was close by up until that very end when he was about to jump out of stealth, so he does back away to recover some of his own HP. MDO's making progress on the reversal here, though, but he's got to be careful, man. All these initial engagements, Mojo just keeps getting hit with... Mojo just keeps hitting a rail every single time he jumps into the fight there, and MDO just has to try and trade some damage out, only like 25 HP. Mojo finally got impatient enough. He's going to leap into this one. Backs out pretty quickly. But he's trying his best to corner MDO. Just can't get it done. Into the open again. Missed rail that would have gotten the kill over MDO. Not finding it yet, though. And MDO once again survives to recover.
I mean, it just seems like he gets his regular stack going and tries to get an engagement, and Mojo's he's giving as good as he gets, and given the differential and stack, I mean, MDO has to back off. So he's gonna have to get initial damage in on this clutch to really even the score before he can do much.
Should note, Mojo getting tagged there a little bit. So again, MDO trying to make some progress on the reversal here, but about 30 seconds left in the round overall here, and nicely done right out of the stealth. Finally, a surprise engagement. All of a sudden, MDO has a huge advantage in this 1v1 here, and if he gets it, it might be the round. There's only going to be 30 seconds left to trade it. This is not the best time for Mojo to have a bit of a lag spike there, but I think he's recovered from it already, so he is good. And regardless, MDO didn't jump on him when he was suffering from that anyway, so all's well. 15 seconds remain until we jump into OT, so for certain now, this next kill will decide the outcome of this round here, and potentially this match if MDO takes it. MDO's got to be a bit careful though. Mojo looks like he's trying to set a little bit more of a trap here on the clutch now. Still hiding it out in the nail gun room. But he's not being too quiet, so he's going to be able to jump in here. The stealth pop. Mojo knows that MDO is probably going to follow it up with another jump onto him, though, so he pops off his shield. Keep in mind, he has a relatively short cooldown on that one, especially if he's able to pick up the time bubbles.
Little surprised MDO didn't try to get a little more aggressive there after that initial damage, but and sudden death, so I can understand being careful. He really does have Mojo on the ropes a little bit. I mean, that's getting a little better now, but...
Yeah, I was about to say, that's been like a constant thing, though, is that MDO has always kind of been like a little bit sketchy with going in on that last engagement that can get him the kill, but for the most part, he almost always gets it and usually doesn't get reversed, so he's still pretty smart about the way he does it. Just takes a while to find that engagement, and there's the reversal that I was talking about before. That nice rail against MDO all of a sudden gives Mojo a little bit more of an edge. Still relatively even between these two players, but all of a sudden leaping into it. Mojo getting hit by a big rocket down to 80 HP, but again, Mojo does not want to jump into that very, very small chokehold. That could be dangerous if a well-timed rocket swings through there. And now into the open, rail connecting onto Mojo again. One more and he's dead. Trades one back, but he gets hit by the rockets down to 48 HP. And Mojo again bailing out from the fight, and MDO choosing not to follow for the same reason that he is also low here. So cannot sustain if he gets hit by another big damage ability. And those pickups from MDO in there allows Mojo to raid into that one and cut off that flank.
I was just a little surprised there earlier, in the SNG room, and MDO I felt had an opportunity to pursue. I know Mojo was throwing defensive rockets, but he had his ghost walk up. I didn't understand why I guess he's just saving it for just in case. I mean, but I felt he could have ended the round right there.
And Mojo now going down those steps again. MDO should have been able to hear him. So he's now going to try to look for a different position to leap into combat here. Now waiting in the corner. Nice little dodge from Mojo. Gets out of the way. Now both have the rails out, but no one can connect a rail shot here. We're up to 2 minutes now in OT, and no one has gotten this kill just yet. I think that these lives specifically have gone on for like 4+ minutes in this individual 1v1. So both these guys really struggling just to get one single kill. And I mean, while some players have had advantages, and we've seen that reversed a few times, right now it's not a huge advantage to anyone right now, but it looks like they are finally jumping into combat again. Mojo down to just his regular HP. 100 of it to be exact. But I'll recover that. Still doesn't have a whole lot of armor to play with, but at the same time, with MDO being so passive all of a sudden, Mojo, I doubt is too worried. I doubt he is too worried.
Mistake for MDO here. Yeah, I have no idea why he had no presence for Mega Health there. It could end up costing him.
Now Mojo's got a lot of excess health to play off of here. MDO is going to continue to focus on the full armor as he claims that for yet another time. And, tagged by a rail again. So Mojo losing a lot of his extra HP down to 138 health and into the fight finally. It's still a bit of a dodgy fight for MDO to take. So again, just a little bit of a scrap there inside of the nail gun room, and then they back out onto each other. MDO tried to continue it here in this hallway, but that rocket pushed him back.
I am just puzzled by his lack of use of Ghost Walk on these chances of his. I'm absolutely dumbfounded right now. Why he's just refusing to engage with the Ghost Walk aggressively. It's almost like he's scared, like it's going to backfire and he's not going to have it up for a defensive position. But that's, I think it's come back to hurt him if he's not careful. I mean, at least 2 opportunities, maybe even 3 that he should have probably pushed with Ghostwalk and got a kill.
I think he's trying to save it for an emergency, like right here. He's trying to save it for something like this, where he, yep, and there you go. He used it there so he wouldn't die. That's exactly what he keeps saving it for. He saves it for that oh crap moment, so that he can have that emergency button to get out of the fight quickly.
He's getting into these oh crap moments because he's letting Mojo
I
get back
know.
into the round.
I know. That's the problem. He's giving him too much room, but he's focused more on his own defense than he is on his aggression. That's the key issue right now here. Tagged again, sub 25 HP.
And now it's not up.
All of a sudden, he's going to lose control of the armor spawn as well. So all advantage over to Mojo here. And finally, Mojo, beautifully done, dives in at a brutal rail to end it.
Poorly. I mean, good job for Mojo. I mean, let's give him credit for doing what he needed to do to get the round. But MDO, man, come on. He had plenty of opportunity to win that round. And I don't know if it was nerves or, you know, the situation getting the better of him or what, but I mean, come on, man, you gotta take your chances with tracks.
Nice die, nice slipgate from Mojo too, getting right up on top. I don't think he was able to steal the armor, unfortunately. MDO still managed to claim that, but still, at the very least, reduced the pool of it by quite a bit early on in the round here and made that a little bit inept as they try to trade out their exchanges from the first initial power-up pickups. Again, just the opening battle going on here. As Mojo tries to do some decent damage. In fact, he does connect onto that decent damage. Mojo playing right around the rosy a little bit with MDO here, and MDO losing track of the narrative a tad. So he's got to be careful. As he loses track of that, that could prove dangerous for him, but he reverses that and brings Mojo down to just his standard health pool, while MDO still has the armor to play with, still has that extra little buffer here. So Mojo knows he can't take the fight in its current form. He does have to back away, and also MDO going to be able to, in a second, if he keeps in this position, he should be able to move in, get himself the pickup on the health here. Mojo threw the dire orb forward, but oh, I don't think he meant to go through that portal, actually. I have to look around for a second when he did that, so he'll give it over to MDO. And now MDO, I mean, different champion now, but he has every right to engage this currently.
Yeah, he's in a good position now. It's just a little different because with the Knicks, I understand he was scared to run in these zones, but he had the damn ghost walk, man. Just pop it. Get in there.
Mojo again jumping down. You can hear that voice command, I think, from MDO over there. So you notice he probably just jumped up somewhere. For the armor is how MDO has been using it on almost every single timer, actually. He's been using his excuse me. He's been using his slipgate a lot more for mobility than he has for aggressive use here. Now, oh, out in the open, Mojo tried to dodge it with the portal, but failed. So he's going to end up losing quite a bit of his armor pool as a result of that one. Quickly recovers the lost health, though, up to already 50 armor as well. So he's still looking fine. The tag doesn't mean too much. Now Mojo has been able to set a trap here for MDO. Can he complete the kill, though? That armor's helping him out by quite a bit. And again, Mojo just not enough aggression himself either to really go in there and try to melt down his armor. He knows that MDO has a health advantage, and now finally MDO is going to leap into this fight, but it's when Mojo's actually in a pretty okay position, so it's, again, only for just a few seconds inside of that nail gun room. They don't really continue the engagement, and Mojo now out. He hits first, but it's traded back by MDO, and he misses the second one, so MDO is going to be allowed to escape. Won't be taken down by these rails. Can still be eliminated by some good rockets, but too slow in the reaction for Mojo. Switches out to that far too slowly. And so MDO escapes again.
Just be looking to finish here. Way too much too passive. I mean, even right there. I mean, switching to rail. I mean, after that initial rocket, man, he should have been in there. Rockets, lightning gun. He should have been in his face. He literally gave up the kill right there. That was a total kill opportunity. I don't know if something's changed in terms of his confidence level. Maybe Mojo's, getting to him a little bit, or he's missing some shots that he normally hits. But something's changed in his mentality. There we go. Got to finish. Something mentally has changed. It seems like his play style has definitely changed up a little bit.
The pressure, man. He's up 2. He was up 2-1. He's up 2-2 right now. If he wins this one, he will qualify, and that's a pretty big step to try and go in for $1 million prize bowl with a first place prize of 100 grand for duel, if I remember correctly. So this is a lot.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the pressure. Because earlier, like I said, the Knicks that's usually the sign the pressure's kind of getting to you. Is in a normal game you might push, and in this game all of a sudden you're not, and you don't want to do that. You just want to play your game.
And now we're going up against the clutch. This is what was a huge... Oh, okay.
There we go.
I was about to say this clutch was a huge problem for him in the last round, but he just melts it right there with a direct rocket hit. So goodbye, and oh no, this is not the way we want this to end right now for Mojo. Not in just utter domination like this one. One more rail, and he's going to be one-shottable. There we go. One more, and he's out of this one, and MDO is going to qualify. He needs to go, and now's the time, MDO. Complete your journey, and there you go. Finally, MDO is going to be able to move in. He will take control of this third, or excuse me, yeah, he'll take control of this last map, or the second map here, and he'll win out the series 2-0. Congratulations to MDO. He is going to move forward into the North American Regionals. And for Mojo, well, it was a close battle here on map 2.
Really close.
But he is going to have to reset and come back next week.